Hello everyone and welcome to this video where we'll delve into the topology section of the SculptGL web-based program. Topology indicates the geometric model and the relationship between the elements that make up a given object. In this context, our object is composed by polygons. By pressing the V key, we switch to a wireframe view, where the individual polygons that make up the model are now visible. The topology defines their location and arrangement. In the case of SculptGL program or in digital sculpting in general, the only topological issue we have to worry about is whether our model appears as if it were pinched or squashed or stretched so much that we can see the individual deformed polygons. For example, like this. We must avoid this situation because if we want to do a 3D printing of the modeled object, the print could come out badly or fail completely. The topology is crucial to obtaining a good result, not only for 3D printing, but also in the creation of environments such as in video games or films. When we work on an object, it is good to keep an eye on this aspect, because it is considered one of the fundamentals of good modeling, especially if you are interested in this type of sector for a future career. To fix or avoid mistakes, we can use different tools in the topology section. Now, let's take a look at the multi-resolution panel. The resolution present in this section is very similar to the resolution of the TV or our monitor. The higher the resolution is, the more detail the final result will have in terms of how many polygons it has. Depending on the computer used, SculptGL may slow down if the resolution is set too high. To adjust and select the resolution, simply drag to the left to decrease the resolution and to the right to increase the resolution. By clicking on Subdivide, the model will quadruple its resolution. To concretely see the changes made on the resolution, I remember you to switch to the wireframe view by clicking on V. A good practice is to increase the resolution only if absolutely necessary, especially in relation to the performance and level of work produced by your computer. We can treat the sculpture just like a drawing, starting from a low resolution and sketching the subject we want to create, and increasing the resolution only when we need it, in order to get more details. The reverse tool is the opposite of subdivide, because it reduces the resolution of the object. In the multi-resolution section, we have two other tools, delete lower and delete higher. The delete lower command will delete all the resolution lower than the selected one, and delete higher will delete all resolution higher than the selected one. In the following section, we find the tools to generate the mesh of the model. The mesh created by the program will fit the shape of the sculpted model. So we have two sections to generate mesh: voxel remeshing quads and voxel remeshing manifold trees. By clicking on Remesh in the first section, we will obtain a mesh made up of square. So to generate the mesh, we can select our resolution. The higher the resolution is, the denser the mesh will be. In the section voxel remeshing quads, we can decide to activate or deactivate the block function. In the voxel remeshing manifold trees section, by clicking on Remesh, we obtain a mesh made up of triangles. Also, in this case, we can establish the resolution and activate or deactivated the relaxed topology function. The last section of the topology panel is dynamic topology. The dynamic topology will allow most tools, such as the brush, to automatically add polygons to the shape, avoiding the total and general subdivision of the model. This tool can be particularly useful when we want to add very fine details. By activating dynamic topology, three more options will appear. The subdivision slider establishes how many polygons will be added to the model when we go to sculpt the object. So this is the tool of dynamic topology with a higher subdivision, and this is the tool of dynamic topology with a lower subdivision. In case we have a very high resolution, we can use the decimation slider to reverse part of the model. So, like the subdivision slider, we can use the decimation slider to reverse part of the model without having to do so on the entire object. In the dynamic topology section, we have the linear subdivision tool that we can activate or deactivate. The last thing to know is that we can activate the dynamic topology only with manifold trees mesh. Now we conclude here this lesson dedicated to the topology section. Thank you for watching the video. See you next time. If you want to stay updated on new guides, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support us, subscribe to the channel as a supporter.